ओके।
है वो ज़ोरोआस्ट्रियन कल्चर का सबसे पहला ग्रंथ है यार। उससे एंड उसमें जो ग्रामर यूज हुआ है वो ऋग्वेद का जो नया यू कैन से पीछे के जो ग्रामेटिकल इक्वेशन आते हैं ना उससे मैच करता है। तो याद जस्ट सोचो कि अवेस्ता से भी पुराना ऋग्वेद है तो ऑब्वियसली संस्कृत तो पुराना ही है।
देखो लिंग्विस्टिक्स पे तो इफ यू गो बाय लिंग्विस्टिक्स यू कैन नेवर प्रूव दिस आर्ग्यूमेंट दैट हरप्पन civilizations was one of the first civilizations to start habitations in India। वैसा तो कभी प्रूव ही नहीं कर पाओगे भाई, बिकॉज लिंग्विस्टिक एक्सचेंज इज
ओके।
पार्ट ऑफ अ
तो
cultural
ओके।
exchange
I'm
which has been going on since very long time। It has nothing to do with imposition of culture, more with
okay.
a traditional
I'm asking.
exchange of trade, exchange of languages, exchange of whatever you can exchange।
Okay. Harappan were not only the first civilization in India, but they might have been even older than Sumeria, which would make them the first civilization in the world, in the entire world, not just India. Okay, that I know that's hard to process for someone who can't comprehend historical timelines, but it's quite likely. It could have been even older than Sumeria.
Which civilization are you talking about specifically? The Iranian or
The Harappan
Harappan
civilization. If you
civilization?
look it up, yeah,
See,
it
just
predates
because
कोई एक
ancient
बोलो।
you
Egypt.
find a proof of a civilization before Harappan period, that does not mean that there could not have been a possible existing in that specific part of the world. People could have
Not
existed,
just
we
in
just
that
do
part
not
of the
have
world,
proof.
though. Harappan civilization is some of the oldest in the entire world, the whole globe. That's what I'm trying to say. It's so old.
So that disproves what? The evolution theory that everyone evolved from Africa, then moved eastwards and then.
No, it certainly doesn't. People certainly left Africa much, much, much.
So if
This
that
is
is
just
not
showing
in
how you don't even know
conflict
the
with
basics
scientific
much
principles,
before the Harappan civilization started.
as well
Okay,
as
do
the
you
current
know the difference
understanding of world,
between
what is the
civilization and
problem in accepting that there existed a civilization older than that?
because there's no evidence.
Where
There's
is no
no
evidence?
evidence at all.
Asking for a scriptural proof, and we are giving you scriptural proof that see these are all
Okay,
mentions,
I have a
and then
question. I have a question. I have a question. Did your grandfather use anything? Um, what should I think about? Maybe a bed. Did he use a bed that you have thrown out or given away or recycled, whatever? Do you have any such thing in your house?
Um,
Like, do you know about
well, like
existence of any such thing
जो
that he
उपन्यान का
used? But
you mean वो जो
हाँ
धागा
हाँ,
होता है उपन्यान
अबे उपनयन नहीं बोल रहा मैं, बेड की बात कर रहा हूँ, कोई फर्नीचर, कोई
अरे
प्रोडक्ट जो
physical material
Oh, I thought you
तुम्हारे
said
दादाजी ने यूज
like
करा
bed.
हो। हाँ।
नहीं नहीं furniture. I don't know. I'm not
No,
sure.
he might have used something, right? He might have used a furniture, right? Some furniture, some sort of furniture.
Yeah.
Huh. So, what is the evidence that he used it? If I dig in
What
your
is
house,
the
will I
evidence?
find it? If I dig in your house, will I
Okay, but
find it?
then you can't. Okay, if there's no evidence, though, you can't use that in science. You need evidence
No, no.
for relevance. Right?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking you. There is a thing called logic also in science.
Well,
I'm just
obviously it could
asking you
have
a simple thing.
existed, but then there's not a. But then it's not a useful
No, no,
argument. You can't argue using
no.
that it could because obviously
So you
anything is
won't be
possible.
no, no. So you won't be able to say that your grandfather used any furniture, right?
Obviously, but
Even if you have a furniture, wait, even if you are using let's say he was sitting on a chair and you are using that chair, you cannot use that as evidence that he used it too, because it's you. If I dug in your house, I would not find that chair. You
yes,
realize that there are places in which civilizations continue to live, and in those places things which are used, they get recycled. Like, even if you think about swords or whatever metal, people don't throw those things away. People don't let the corpse uh, rot in streets or in their own houses. They will burn it. In our culture everything is burned, but not everyone
yeah,
does it. Most of the people, they don't do it, especially in the
I
places
know.
where culture is already, where civilization is thriving, and those are the places in which most of these things happened. For
Yeah, what
example,
about Sinoli
पहले
excavations? What about it?
नहीं, एक मिनट
Yes, so
एक
I
मिनट
was trying to say
in
in the
एक
Harappan
minute.
times.
Wait. Where did Mahabharata and the Vedas Uh,
Punjab
so
or
yeah,
Haryana,
it's
but
Sapta
possibly even
Sindhu.
Afghanistan. So.
Yeah, it's Sapta Sindhu and Gangetic Plains, right? The river,
No, the
river.
Gangetic Plains are not in the Vedas. The Gangetic
हाँ,
Plains
the
come in the
Gangetic
Mahabharata.
Plains. हाँ तो ठीक है, same thing. Mahabharata and Vedas. Sapta Sindhu and Gangetic Plains. I'm including both, right? Although
Okay.
Gangetic Plains comes in Vedas, I'll explain later. Um, so these two places, the civilization was always thriving there. There is no time in history where the civilization was not present there. The civilization has never
You do
abandoned the
realize
Gangetic Plains, so
civilizations
you're
have
not
to
going to
start.
find any evidence.
But you do realize civilizations have to start at some point, right? And we can date the
Why?
start of the Harappan
Why do you?
era
Why do
to.
you think? Okay, why do you think? Why do you think that on a huge globe, humans cannot evolve everywhere, but you can think that languages, cultures, everything can evolve in different places and still be the same. Just explain this to me.
What do
If
you mean humans
evolution is
cannot
happening,
evolve everywhere?
what I mean by that is, do you think humans were so small in number that they were only concentrated to Harappan region and not any other region in India?
No, they definitely were spread all over India, but the Harappans were a different people to the native Dravidians. That's what I'm saying. The native population is
I
ancestral ancient
just,
South
I
Indian, which
just,
is
I
really
just,
tall.
I just disproved that thing that there are Aryan and Dravidians. If there are, then why are they mentioning that the places that they have come from are barbaric?
Okay, so you're arguing, but that doesn't change the fact that
I'm
the Harappans
arguing.
had a
I'm
different
arguing on
genome.
basis of. I'm arguing on the basis of evolution. You're talking about Aryans or whatever being the evolved species who came into a place where there were less evolved species or whatever, lesser evolved DNA. Now, why would they say that these lesser people are not barbaric, but the place that they came from was barbaric, and they cannot
Okay,
speak language?
do you know the in
You
the
realize
Rig
ancestors.
Ved,
Mhm.
there's a wait. Let me just check confirm the spelling of that. Dasyu. There's a Dasyu, and they're mentioned as the natives of India, but they're monsters, and they are constantly threatening the civil. And they're like enemies of the Harappans essentially, and
Can,
they're native to
can you
India.
mention
And
the
there's
word?
also then in later text.
Abe,
Yeah,
so
Can you
how
mention the
how
word?
did you establish that they were native to India, first of all?
because they are mentioned living around the forts and the cities of Harappa.
Huh, so how did
अबे
you
एक मिनट
establish that the
wait wait
person
wait
who is
What?
ये
mentioning
मेरे
about
को
the
मालूम है
Dasyus
ये
is not a native?
I'll tell you what he's saying.
Okay,
Are
they
He's
you
also
going
are
to say
described as
hearing
having
what
dark
you're
skin.
saying yourself?
no
Come
I
on.
know what he's going to say. Wait, I'll tell you what he's going to say. He'll tell that there were people called Dasyus or Dayus who were living in India in forts, and then Indra, whose name is Purandara, which means destroyer of forts or cities, came there and destroyed all of that. Now, do you realize Indra is not a man? He's not a
He's a
physical man.
god.
Do you realize that?
I
No,
know,
he's
but
he's a force of nature. If you read the description of the visuals of Indra, of
I know
Agni,
he's
of
not a man.
Varuna,
He's God.
they literally represent the clouds, the flame, the water.
Yes, I know he's
He's
the
not a
supreme god
man
of
who
the Vedas.
came down and destroyed forts. He has better things to do than destroying forts.
Yet the Vedas mention him destroying the forts.
एक काम कर भाई,
Where?
see, give
Right?
me the reference
Okay.
and I'll cross check and
Okay.
present.
You
Give.
Okay, and
No,
okay,
Baji, let me do it.
the
Baji, let me do it. I have it
Dasyus are
on the go.
no.
those
If you're going
Dasyus are
to take
mentioned
this,
like
okay, no. Wait.
having
If you're
dark.
going to take this, if you're going to take this literally, then answer this. Agni is mentioned to be a Brahmana who has orange skin, black ends, and smoky, ashy hands and legs. How
Well,
does
he
one
is a
have
god,
orange
right?
skin?
So of course he wouldn't look
No,
like a
how does
human.
no. How does
He's
one have
fire,
orange skin?
because he's fire.
He's
So
flame.
Is
personification.
fire a
So
human?
Yes.
again, this
Is
in a
fire a
similar
human?
way, Indra, someone who is not a human being, how can he be destroying forts?
Okay, but do you know who those
Can
forts the people were described to have dark
can
skin
I
and
can I,
flat noses?
can I Indra also has dark skin. What do you mean?
Indra
wait,
is
wait.
fair skin. He
Wait,
is described as having golden
No,
hair.
wait.
no, no.
Said
The,
noses,
again,
noses.
again, again,
ये
again. Same thing.
I
You're
see
अब
confusing this again.
I see
Okay.
niggas with
You
blonde hair
just
all
कोई
the
said,
नहीं
time. What are
ये
you
जो
talking
अरे
about?
no, no, no.
भाई कान्हा भाई
Wait, wait,
That's
wait.
dyed hair, dumb fuck.
Kana, रुक जा.
ना
Okay, wait.
Okay.
You just said
ना
that
मैं
Agni
बोल
is the flame, but then you say that
मैं
Indra has blonde hair. Now, Indra's blonde. I'll describe to you what Indra is. Indra has a black complexion, black gray complexion, and he has golden white hair. And what that represents is his body is the clouds, his hair is the lightning, and lightning destroys forts. It's not
Then why
literal.
is his
Just
okay? His
exactly,
skin is
exactly
black.
how exactly how Agni is not a literal orange human being. Just because someone has blonde hair does not make him a literal human being. You cannot say that
Okay,
Agni is not a human, but Indra is a
there's
human.
no
Because
okay. There's no
Indra
Okay.
rules
Even
on
even
Agni.
if we go for that, there's no foundation for saying that Indra has dark skin. He never did. Tell me where it says he has
He,
dark
he
skin.
does.
अरे
He
भाई
does. He
भार्गव भाई
does.
एक
All
काम
of
करो
No.
एक मिनट रुको
Adityas have black.
भार्गव भाई एक
Uh,
मिनट रुको brother see when you want to disprove an argument you are saying give me the scriptural references and when we are asking for a scriptural references and then you are making some other tangent and going to some other argument. First of all give me the thus use thing. I'll see the context. I'll refer from the scripture right at this moment. Okay, so if you
अरे
want
भाई
to
मैं
Okay,
prove
बताता हूँ
I'll
something
tell you
Even
from the
I will do
video.
it
when asked.
at once. In fact, Akhil Dasa Krokan would have it readily.
मेरे पास भाई सुनो ना
Ah,
अरे this Dasius reference Max Muller mentioned it no some author before Max Muller mentioned it that while he's or her reading of the Vedas, they found this reference of Dasyu's skin and the flat nose thing. They found it in the Vedas, but they precisely mentioned it that this reference in the Vedas is found only once, and it is not even considered like something very important to the mantra or something important in the tradition. They precisely write it in the foundation work for this argument. Then Max Muller quotes this, and also Max Muller also says that this reference is very like it's very small. It does not prove anything, and this is just a passing mention. Now, some later thinkers, the Dravidian fundamentalists and the other Indologists later cited Max Muller and then literally wrote in their works that this reference of flat skin and flat noses and black skin is found everywhere in the Veda, and it is a very important description by citing Max Muller himself. So the foundational works of your argument itself are skewed.
I would also like to add something more here. In fact, Manusmriti mentioned Dasyu, or the definition which it holds. Okay, let me share it at once here. Okay, continue.
Alright, I'm sending you guys. Hey, yeah, I pinged you with my evidence in the chat.
Okay, okay, someone give this guy that, what do we say, image perms, because I can't right now.
They were described the same way as outsiders you say were described, but these were native to India. They were living in the Indus Basin,
अबे
so we know that these were
I'm
native.
Well,
asking
how
you
do you define Dasyus, by the way? How do you
brother
define
when
Dasyus
wait
at
wait wait
once?
wait 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 which culture
Meitei culture
Like
got
अरे भाई
okay.
so that
Like
particular
from
god
Sanamahi.
You guys are simply wasting your time here. Damn it.
I am
So I
just
should add
giving
Buddhadev
you.
here. Okay, Buddhadev from
मेरा
Chhattisgarh.
भी
He's a tribal god, form of Shivji. Come on.
I am just like saying that like
हाँ
Pakhambad and Nagambad. There are
okay,
so
Shiv
many.
वो एक बार
okay, I
Shiv जी
can
आ
name
गए
a purely Dravidian god. You know Sadhana, the religion. Well, there is this god named
Sarna
Gaun
religion is
Kunt.
from the northeast, not a Dravidian religion.
Yeah, it is
Okay,
called
no, by Dravidian.
Sanamahism
Okay,
from Meitei.
let me clear up what I mean by
Sarnaism
Dravidian.
is
Not
from
all South Indians
northeast.
are Dravidian, and not all North Indians are Aryan. Let me clear that up. Most North Indians are actually Dravidian as well.
Are northeast Indians
Eh?
Dravidian?
Wait,
Abhay,
No,
Northeast
because
Indians are
Sarna is
Mongoloid.
actually
see, thinker,
What?
Abhay, you are
yes,
giving
I know,
example of a
I
northeast
know,
settlement
but
and portraying it as a Dravidian deity.
Okay.
because the Sarna people are actually also found in like central India and in those areas
You
as
Abhay,
can't
well.
Abhay,
find
so
them
So
so
in
you are
central India
saying,
because they are from.
you are defending a Dravidian argument by giving an example of a civilization that existed in central and northeast India. Very genius of you. I have to appreciate your skill.
Yeah, yeah.
भाई एक मिनट मेरे को
okay,
एक बात
Sarna
बताओ
is
कि
found in
बैंगलोर में
it is also
वो
found in
एक मिनट
West Bengal,
थिंकर
Bihar, and
थिंकर थिंकर
Chhattisgarh.
थिंकर अबे
It's
थिंकर
not just
एक
in
मिनट
Jharkhand.
ओ
Not just
थिंकर
in Odisha.
ओ थिंकर
Yeah, yeah.
there are North Indians found in Bangalore. There are Bengalis, Marathis, all
Okay,
kinds of every kind of people. Ev- Whatever you want to find, you can find in Bangalore. You can find in Delhi. Does that make it a North Indian place,
okay.
or does
And do
that
you
make Delhi a
realize that
South Indian place?
North Indians are also genetically Dravidian? Do you realize that?
No, no,
So
no. I'm just saying
you know,
you can find genetic difference or whatever you're saying. You can find those people in other place. भाई अभी के टाइम पे मत कंपेयर
okay,
करना. We are talking about old times.
all right. Well, let's see where they originated. I'm pretty sure it was central.
They originated in Tibeto-Burmese roots, brother. They are from. They have Chinese roots. If you are talking about Sanamahi, they have Chinese roots.
Brother,
Okay, but what I'm saying is most North Indians think of themselves as Aryan, which is simply false. Do you guys first realize that? You
uh,
have the same main DNA
see,
component as South
one of the
Indians.
few questions that I asked, one of the few scriptural references that I asked in the very beginning was, where did you find the references of these Aryan scriptures or these imposed texts demeaning those Dravidian counterparts, those of the Dravidian culture?
Well, I can send you some right now. Let me open it up.
Okay, send
I'll
it.
send you some verses
You
right
guys
now.
know.
Good.
Okay, so let me predict it. It's going to be first Mandal, 33rd Sukta, and something like that, right? Seventh Mandal and 19th Sukta or something
To
like
be
that.
honest, Revenger and uh, Kraken, you both are very knowledgeable on these topics.
Yeah.
भाई अभी तो वेट करो भाई. अच्छा वो थिंकर भाई, I forgot to tell you that I have been recording this VC just for the sake of embarrassment. So
What's embarrassing? I'm giving you scientific knowledge. So if you're
ah,
embarrassing,
right
it's
now it
probably
might not be
yourself.
embarrassing. By the end of the day, by the end of the year, you will realize what I'm saying.
And how
So
would
maybe
you
maybe my
you
funny
realize I'm using a
laugh I will
VPN.
explain.
So if you I know you're thinking that you have my location, right? That's what you're
No,
suggesting. I'm
I'm
using a
not. I
VPN.
do not want to know your location. Wherever you are, be happy, be safe. You are responsible for your own safety. I know.
Okay.
I do not care where you are from,
Yeah, I have a
what you
VPN.
look
So I
like,
mean, go
anything.
ahead. You can get my location. It's not gonna be the correct one.
I'm a over smart person. I'm just saying I'll be uploading this.
All right.
Did you send those references? I've been waiting.
Yeah, I'm pulling up a bunch of them.
Mhm.
By the way, I wanted to say something. That see, I believe that the just like the thinker guy, I believe that caste system is a very very oppressive structure, and there is okay, not step invasion, but any kind of invasion, any invasion. If such kind of invasion is happened, then how without the use of force, how without any surviving historical text, uh, we have this. How without any surviving text of the caste system being applied is such an oppressive structure being built. This is only possible when there is no invasion or no somebody coming from the outside, or else we would have evidence that such an oppressive system is being built up and is being followed in a country where this system did not exist prior.
Look, I don't think it was originally oppressive. It later became oppressive. Originally it was just that the Aryans wanted to kind of stay within themselves, they didn't want to intermingle too much with other races. So they just, they was just originally started to just don't marry that other person. We just want to stay within ourselves. And then later over time became more oppressive, when they
Arey, so
conquested other
if these
regions. And
Aryans
then
were so suppressive, why would there be acharyas from different
that's what I'm
localities in
saying. They
India?
were not suppressive.
Huh,
Did you
I
not
agree.
hear what I said? They
oppressive,
were
and
not
and the
suppressive.
time period you are claiming them to be oppressive, the time period contradicts as well.
No, I said they wanted to stay within
Even
themselves.
if
They
you
didn't
are
want to
saying
oppress
that
others.
the particular system became
They just
oppressive
wanted.
later in time, then I'll prove you that Adi Shankaracharya came from Kerala. He is such a revered figure in all of India, and he was a Nambudiri Brahmin.
Yes, and that was much later in time, though. He was a
But
Brahmin
how
in
much later
Kerala.
in time,
You
brother?
do realize.
Your time period
You do realize who
starts
the
from a
descend. Okay,
specific period, and
you
then
do
you are
realize who the
going to
descending.
claim
Okay,
that later
do
in
you
time,
know?
later in time. With every single argument, your time period fluctuates.
No, because you do realize the Kerala Brahmins are have Neolithic Iranian ancestry, right?
देखो भाई
They're
भाई
not the same
देखो
as.
proof of cultural exchange does not mean there was an oppressive system. Cultural exchange can also
I know.
happen
I'm not
freely.
saying. Okay,
Can
that is
also
exactly
happen
what I'm
freely.
saying. They were not oppressive at first.
There can be
It
a
was not
result
oppressive.
of
The Aryans
trade,
were not
especially when
oppressors.
you are talking about India, which shared such a large portion of the global economy that trade was so common. Cultural exchange hence was so common. Linguistic exchange hence was so common. You cannot point out कि ये भाई देखो this was an oppressive system. This was some kind of an imposition. Science and
Well,
history
I'm not saying
proves
it
you
was
wrong.
oppressive.
Very clearly, science and
Did you hear
history
what I
prove
said?
you
I
wrong.
keep repeating it's not oppressive. Are you like deaf or something?
I
Uh,
I agree. This is not an oppressive system, but if it was not an oppressive system, what is the historical evidence for this claim that it was not oppressive?
Well, at first the Aryans they just didn't want to mix with other races too much, but it wasn't racism or anything. They just wanted to kind of stay to themselves, but they
Abe,
treated others with
you are representing
equality.
a kind of
Because
people, a faith of people that existed thousands of years ago, and you are telling what went on through their mind. कि हमको ऐसा लगता है we should not be oppressive at this moment, and we'll be oppressive
Well,
2000 years later. Nice
we
theory.
know because of the way the gene flow happens, right? We know how it works.
अबे तो
We
gene
know
flow
in the
से
text how it.
gene flow से you are क्या बोलते concluding operation. Are you what kind of a scientist
No,
you are?
I'm concluding the opposite. I'm not concluding oppression. I'm concluding conquest, though. There was conquest.
हाँ conquest does not happen without oppression. Do not do not get into philosophy, brother, which you do not even
There
know.
was somewhat, but
Without a
in the
use of
long
force, you
term,
cannot
they
be conquered.
enlightened. Okay, in the long term, they enlightened the Indians, right? They enlightened the people of India because they gave them so many gifts. Like just think about it: horses, chariots, um, bronze, iron.
That can be a result of a
Yeah, I
trade
could
and
keep
not
going.
oppression or not a
The
conquest and use
Vedas.
of force. That can be a result of a trade.
Okay, that could have been the result of a trade, but not a
So could
complete
have been. It's
cultural
a
flip
50-50
over.
possibility. Na? You are choosing the narrative that you like, and I'm choosing the narrative that I like.
No, I'm not choosing, but no, those things could have been betrayed. But did you hear the part where I said the complete cultural flip over, where the all of a
No, no, no,
sudden the rest of India converted to
no,
Hinduism?
no.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Prove me there was a complete cultural flip over and decide the time period. When did that happen? Make it a
Well,
definite time period.
it depends on region. Every region is different. Harappa had a cultural, the Northwest already started flipping over at 7000
Hello,
BC when
hello,
the Harappans
hello.
arrived there,
एक मिनट
right? And
So
then
अरे
when you
Bharata,
get to the
okay,
Gangetic
एक
Plain,
मिनट
that
since we are
started
talking
flipping
about
over at
that
मिनट
particular religion,
2500.
you have
ओ वेट ओ वेट वेट पाजी पाजी मॉडलॉग का पिन दे
Bhai, I'm still waiting on your sources about
एक
this
अरे
demeaning of
भाई पाजी एक बार
Dravidians
तुम
and all.
देखो ना एक बार तुम देखो ना भाई एक बार तुम देखो ना भाई बस एक बार देखो
कहाँ
Okay,
देखेगा?
the Sinali chariots, right? Those
मॉडलॉग
are
मॉडलॉग
warrior graves, and those are graves of Neolithic Iranian warriors with their chariot buried in the Gangetic Plain. Much before there were proper cities there, but you can see that they came from Harappa and were clearly died attempting to conquer the Gangetic Plain. That's literally the Sinali chariot. If there's any other interpretation, I'm open to that, but there is really nowhere else you can go with that. I mean,
My dear. My dear PhD holder, Mr. Science, Mr. Female Voice. पहले तो you need to establish, since religion and culture is superimposed on each other, they are basically inseparable. Okay, so any change in culture would reflect in the scriptural texts. Okay, now I have established an argument. Now I'm going to ask you for a scriptural proof. When how do you prove कि this cultural imposition happened, the cultural overturn happened based on the scriptures?
No, don't
Okay,
ask
do
us
you know the forest dwellers
theological
described in
evidence.
the
Do you
epics?
know? I'm not asking you for trivia. I'm asking you for substantial, solid, empirical proof.
हाँ.
Do
Yes,
you know?
well, the
And what if
Sonali is
not
some
my
empirical
go-to
proof.
source?
The direction of gene flow is empirical proof. I already gave you that.
Abe,
You can
direction
clearly
of
see the
gene flow,
direction of gene.
my dear scientist. I'm asking you. I first establish how culture and religion are so inseparable in India. Okay, especially in India, and any change in culture would reflect in the scriptural texts. Give me those
And
texts.
it
I'm
just
asking you for
certainly
the proof.
does.
Ah, if there certainly does, then why are you not? Why are you hesitating in providing those proofs?
No, let me explain. So, the texts were only start to be written
He
when
does not.
texts were
Abhi,
written by the
it is a kind
Harappans.
of a
They
copium
were
that
the
those
first
texts
ones to
were
even write
written later, and
texts.
I
He
do not
don't
care about the
want.
time period of those texts. I
He
just
don't
care
want
about what is
script.
written in those texts.
Yeah. He don't
No,
want
no, I'm saying,
explanation. He
yeah.
wants scriptures.
Okay, so I'm just saying the Dravidians wouldn't have written text before that, so we'll only see it from the Aryan perspective. But based
Ah,
on that
bhai,
perspective, we
this
see that they
kind of
describe people who
copium,
live
and
in the
even
forest,
even if you are claiming
people
those were
who dwell in the
Aryans,
forest.
Aryans also had an oral tradition. The Vedas were carried on
Yes, I'm well
with
aware.
the part
But
and
they were
copy
also the first
parampara.
ones. Yes, they were the first ones to also pen down, at least the first ones in India to have had written history.
So
Okay, and
you are making a distinction कि they were the first ones, but you do not have substantial proof to distinguish between Dravidian and Aryan based on the scriptures. Nice.
but we
Bhai,
do
good
have
luck with your
substantial
science degree,
proof
brother.
because no, because the Dravidians are described to have been living in the forests, right? The tribals, and they were considered like they weren't considered
Uh,
like by
The
the
Brahmins,
Aryans
wait, wait,
from the
wait,
Aryan
see,
perspective. They were
there are
wait.
kind of sannyasis. Those munis are are
no, no,
also
not the
used to
sannyasi,
be
not
forest dwellers.
okay.
Munis
Let me
also,
okay,
Muni is a kind of
okay,
a Brahmin sannyasi
not the
that
All
sannyasi.
must
the
live in forest.
All the Kangleipak peoples live in forest too. So they are the Dravidians
No, no,
too.
the
Are you
sannyasi
saying that?
were
Sannyasi
okay.
people
Did you
live
know the
in forest
sannyasi
dwellers.
always they
There are
were
provisions. There are
yeah, the
provisions where upper
sannyasi
caste people
dwelled in
also
the
live in
forest.
forest.
I know. The sannyasi were forest dwellers who came from Harappa, though. That's why they always requested like
अरे तो
assistance. Like
with
for
every
example, in the
single of
Ramayana,
your
they
argument,
requested
with every succeeding of your
assistance
argument,
against the
you
Dravidians who
are
were
putting on an
attacking.
assumption that these people came from here without any scriptural proof, na? Without any proof of cultural
No,
exchange
we
as
do
well
have
as
scriptural proof
reflection in the scriptures.
because they describe okay
Show
they
us.
describe people who would attack
Show
okay
us.
the rishis always came from the cities, right, and they said they requested Ram for help against the Dravidians who were attacking them in the forest. You
अरे
know that, right?
भाई, such a भाई ठीक है भाई. I'm not going to comment on. Have you read Ramayana? Just yes or no?
Yes, I have. Do you know what,
Then
like when Ram's
no, no,
guru
no. I'm not
requests him
asking
for
you
help
anything
against the people who
ahead
are
or below this. I'm just asking a yes or no.
yes.
So what happens
But
in
this is relevant to my point.
Uttarakhand? For
This
example,
is
just a
scriptural
Q&A,
evidence.
just for a test, what happens in Uttarakhand?
I mean, what part of it is like? Just tell me what it refers, because I know the whole story by heart, but I don't know exactly what that like. By name. Tell me what
You
that
don't
is,
know
or at
the
least
Uttarakhand?
भाई उत्तराखंड में there are a lot of stories. Just give me one of those stories.
is that like tell me what exactly? Okay, so I know the whole
You
Ramayana by
know
heart, though.
stories.
अरे
Yeah,
okay,
then
tell
tell
me
us.
what are, and I know I don't want to
Okay, I'll
listen
tell
that.
you the whole thing.
If you know the story by heart, then give any of those stories present in Uttarakhand. Abhi, are you
Okay,
googling?
one of them was like when okay, Dasharath was out hunting. This is like at the very beginning of Ramayana, and
I want to.
he
Bro, I want a story. I do not want you to read a paragraph from Google.
What?
No, I'm telling you my memory, okay? So forgive me if this is wrong, but there was like I think श्रवण कुमार को उसने तीर गलती से लगा दिया कि वो हिरण को मारना चाह रहा था, right? Am I correct? Right? I think so. This is
I
probably
have
and
some
this
of
is
the
from my
doubts from
memory.
Uttarakhand. Please feel free to clear them up. Abhi, why did Sri Ram send Sita to Vanvas?
He didn't send Sita to Vanvas. What are you talking about, bro?
बस भाई हो गया
I know
समझ गया
that's like a
कितना पढ़े
trick
हो
question. Oh, you're talking about the at the end, right? Okay, yeah, at the
हाँ
end it was because
Uttarakhand is
people
not
were
presently
doubting
the
him.
beginning of Ramayana. Uttarakhand is literally almost the end of Ramayana. If you do
Oh,
not
okay,
know
yeah,
You know
then
the
whether
then
whole
I
it's
know.
at the
story.
beginning or at the end of Ramayana, then how can
Yeah,
you claim
no,
that
he
you
sent
have the
he
story by
sent
heart?
okay, I thought you were talking at the beginning. Yeah, no, he did send him to the he sent her because the people were thinking that she had done something with Ravan, they were doubting her purity. And so he sent her to Vanvas because he had to. That's what
Why did he
happened
have
because
to?
the
Why
people,
did he have to?
because the people were demanding and
No, the people were.
Maryada
There was
pushed.
there was other reasons as well. When someone asked Sri Ram, why did this happen? It was a conversation between Shiv and someone else. What did Shiv say? What did Shiv ask Sri Ram? कि ऐसा क्यों किया है? ये भी तो प्रश्न करते हैं, क्यों करते हैं? उसमें ही सेज वो
Okay,
उसमें
but
उसको
you're
ये क्लियरली बताया जाता है कि पीपल्स ओपिनियन डू नॉट मैटर टू मी बिकॉज ये तो धर्म का साक्षात स्वरूप श्री राम है. पीपल्स ओपिनियन डू नॉट अप्लाई ऑन मी. बट व्हाई डिड ही स्टिल adhere
yeah.
to his this commitment to stand
Because
up?
a king has to look the king's duty, they're Maryada Purush, so a king's duty is to follow what his people want. So he was following their duty, even though they don't care for their opinions. The duty of a king
Are you sure
is
that
to
you
do
have
that.
read Ramayana? Because in the next chapter, it is made clear that it was a curse from some rishi that you will have to suffer a patni and putra viyog, just as I have suffered. Someone in your lineage has to do it.
That was
This should have been
Dashrath.
your answer.
That was on the Dashrath. No, that was for Dashrath, though, I'm pretty sure, because he had gotten a curse from Shravan Kumar's parents,
So
because he had
if
killed
that
him back.
lineage is cursed, then they have
Dashrath
to do
doesn't
it.
face Patni Viyog, brother.
अच्छा
So
वैसे
no, that was for
did Dashrath
Dashrath, though. It
fulfill
doesn't.
that curse? Did Dashrath fulfill that curse?
Yes, he died. Because when Ram left, because Kaikeyi had obviously told
पत्नी वियोग
Dashrath
उसको
that
दशरथ को पत्नी वियोग मिला था भाई.
Where is Patni Viyog? Only Putra Viyog.
देख भाई, first of all, when you do not know when that particular story has happened in the beginning or at the end, when I'm clearly pointing it out that it is in the Uttarkand. Uttarkand literally is the end of Ramayana. You should have known
okay.
if you have the story by heart.
Look, I don't know the names, the technicalities, but I've read like the English version of it. I've read the whole thing.
Yeah,
That's
this is
it.
present even in the
That
English
does
version.
not mean that
Don't
you have
worry.
the story by heart or have you read Ramayana. You just have read Ramayana for the sake of information, not for the sake of knowledge. Okay? So do not boast it in a Hinduism
Knowledge
language
is
specifically.
information. Please, sir, enlighten me. What is the difference between knowledge and information?
Do you want a VC to pick some another tangent so you can save some of your
No,
employees'
no,
time?
I'm just saying your argument is sounding very ridiculous. But anyway, the point is that was the curse on Dashrath. So I don't know where you're going with this, but anyway, I was going to point out
अरे
the
तो that
rishis
was the
always
curse on Dashrath,
requested
but
that
did
they when they
Dashrath
were
fulfill
when
it?
they went to the forest, they requested Ram to come and help them against the people of the forest, right? The people who were attacking them, the Rakshas as they were called.
अच्छा, the Rakshas were
They were
were
attacking the.
Mongolites are called Rakshas
wait, नहीं
too.
नहीं भाई,
Maitai
wait a minute,
community.
wait a minute. Rakshas were Dravidians.
Well, they were described as having dark skin. I mean, according
ठीक है
from the
भाई, ठीक है
Aryan
भाई. If
perspective.
Rakshasas were Dravidians, how come Ravan was a Rakshas and a Brahmin?
Well, only his father
Yes,
was a
I know,
Brahmin.
but
His
he
mother
still
was
acquired a
I
Varna, na?
think it was a
He
Rakshas.
still acquired that upper caste
No,
Varna,
his
so-called
father.
upper caste.
Okay, his father was a Brahmin. Do you know who his mother was? It was some sort of monster. I'm pretty
हाँ,
sure
वो
described as
राक्षसी
a
थी. Yes, I
monster.
know that.
Yes, so that's why he was both a Dravidian and a Brahmin because he was mixed. So that's why he
So,
can be
so
called
that
that.
that debunks your claim that all Rakshasas were lower caste.
No, because no, because the majority of them were, and that's why he's called that, because
अरे
they
तो if
traditionally
that
were viewed as
if a
that way. I'm
majority
just
of them
saying
is,
that's
that does not mean you can generalize.
okay. I'm not being racist. I love everybody, you know. I love every. I'm just saying that's how it was in the time period, you know. I'm just saying at that time, that's how they were
I'm
viewed.
not racist. Look, my brother, my friend is black. You are sounding like that right now.
Bro, whose arguments sound ridiculous? Do you know? I just saw a poster. Someone posted in memes channel that Ravan was a Dalit. Your argument sounds very similar to that.
Yeah.
If
No,
if not the
Ravan was
same
And
not.
if
argument,
you
then
Ravan
it
was
are
not a
sounds
saying,
very
Dalit, but
similar.
wait. If you are saying that like Rakshasas, Dravidians were Rakshasas, do you know like Manipur, present day Manipur and old times of Kanglei Park was also considered as a Rakshasa place. They are not darker skinned in my opinion.
yes, but the Rakshasas were described as having dark skin.
भाई
So
Hey
भाई
Bhagwan.
भाई
अच्छा
भाई
wait,
देखो,
wait,
the lower
just
caste
listen.
in my
okay,
area,
I'm just saying
you cannot distinguish a lower
Ravan was
caste
a
and upper
Brahmin.
caste
Yes, he
based on
was. His father
tone
was a
of skin,
Brahmin.
because
His
nowadays
mother
both
was
have same
a
skin tone.
Rakshasa. That's yeah.
अरे
His
there's this company called as History is Fun, which is almost the US and the Europe's largest history educational company for children. Now they have this section called as Indian history. There they had this subsection called as Ramayan, where they literally wrote the same thing, which this thinker guy is claiming that these Rakshasas were Dravidians, dark skinned, and same Ravan, all this thing, and that is why Rama killed them. Now, they were pointed out for this by some Americans, not some Hindus or people like us, कि इसका source क्या है, what is the historical basis of this, and they replied some एक दो चीजें ऐसे ही, but उसके बाद they debunked them. Now, these
no, but
people, history is fun. No, listen to me. Now, these people of history is fun had no answer, and they removed this whole paragraph about Ramayana from their website. So even this large historical company, which is blabbering the same claims as you, has been embarrassed by
no,
such weak and ridiculous arguments. So, I mean, what's the point of
they
this?
didn't have the same claim. They claimed Ravan was a Dalit. That's not true. I admit he was a Brahmin, and his it was just that his mother's side was
No,
a
no,
Rakshas, or would have been classified as traditionally lower caste. So
history,
that's why he was classified as both an Asur and as a Brahmin, because his father was a Brahmin.
अबे
this one
भाई
did
देखो,
not talk about,
एक
only
क्रोकन,
said that the Rakshas were Dalits and they didn't even mention Ravan.
हाँ, this was it. अभी ठीक
Okay,
है भाई, वाइट वॉश कर ले भाई, ठीक है,
but
थिंकर भाई वाइट वॉश कर ले, बट प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाती है कि मनुस्मृति में अभी राक्षस, यक्ष, गंधर्व, पिशाच, ह्यूमन, सबका, देव, असुर, सबका एक लीनियज ट्रेस होता है एक पर्टिकुलर ऋषि से ही। तो अभी स्क्रिप्चर्स आर आल्सो गोइंग अगेंस्ट यू, कि देखो सबकी लीनिएजेस एक ही है,
but they
सब एक ही
aren't.
जगह से आते हैं, दे ऑल कम फ्रॉम अ सेम सोर्स। अभी बोलोगे कि
और
बाहर से
सिंफुल
आके इन पे
सिंफुल
द्रविडियंस पे
सुनना।
इम्पोज किया गया, तो फिर दैट इज कंट्राडिक्टरी टू योर ओन स्टेटमेंट ना।
सिंफुल
But the
सिंफुल
genetics and everything, and even the scriptures, you guys are just trying to distort them to your will. But
No, no,
the
I'm not trying
scriptures,
to distort
as I
them to my
pointed out,
will.
they
If
have
you
the
want a
forest people
scriptural proof,
attacking the
and
rishi.
if you are saying
Who
that
were the
that
forest
particular
people?
thing does not exist on those scriptures, then I think you sound ridiculous, my dear.
No, but who were the forest people who attacked the rishis? Why did the rishis ask help
अरे
from
तो
Ram? Who were
forest
the people attacking?
population, an uncivilized population that even exists in current society as well.
I know. And who were they though at the time? Who were their genes?
अरे who were
Who
they?
were their
ये
They
तो आप
can
ancestors?
be
बताओगे ना,
Mongolites too.
उनकी
They
उनकी
can be Australites too.
genealogy is not the
Right. They
purport of
can be
the
Yes.
Bodo too.
genealogy is not
And
the
who were
purport
the
of scriptures.
Australoids?
That is your purport. That is your
Do you know the
purport
lineage
behind.
of Tibeto-Burmese lineage? Do you know about that?
टॉपिक
Okay.
टॉपिक क्या है, टॉपिक क्या है, टॉपिक क्या है?
He's
Okay,
saying
these
that
guys are saying that India. Okay, these guys are saying Sanskrit is older than IVC and all that nonsense, and that Aryans are from India, and that there's no such thing as Dravidian, and you know that kind of stuff.
Beavis counts. अरे मेरे को ना अभी कमेंट में भी किसी ने बोला था, वेल इट्स द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया।
ऐसा ही केस है भाई। तो आयरिश कल्चर में कोई वैदिक यू कैन से दानव
Dano.
कैसे मिल सकता है?
You're saying Dano.
अरे
कैन यू टेल मी?
Dano.
पहली बात सोच लाओ कि आयरिश कल्चर में दानो है, अगर हुआ भी तो उधर जो स्टेपी था वो यूक्रेन में थे, उधर से वो पूरा कल्चर स्प्रेड हुआ। आपको ईगल्स दिख जाएंगे
Yeah.
इंडिया में, टू
No,
फेस
it was
ईगल्स।
from Iran.
सेम टू फेस
It was
ईगल्स
from
आपको
Iran,
जर्मनी में
then
दिख
shifted.
जाएंगे। और स्वास्तिका सबसे पुराना स्वास्तिका आपको मिलता है यूक्रेन में, तो यूक्रेन से आया है, तो
Yeah.
यूक्रेन से पूरा स्प्रेड हुआ। तो उधर आयरिश
No,
कल्चर
no,
जो
no.
है
It
उसका
was
मतलब
it
ये
was
नहीं कि इंडिया से ही गया होगा।
it was
हाँ
from
भाई, इसका भी
Iran.
मतलब
There
जैसा
was a
भी है, देखो
common
अर्थ जैसा
ancestor.
भी है, यहाँ मिलता है यहाँ नहीं मिलता है, यू कैन नॉट डेफिनेटली पॉइंट
यहाँ
आउट
मिलता
कि
है
द
मतलब
डायरेक्शन
इंडिया
ऑफ
से ही गया
एक्सटिंक्शन।
होगा, वो तो फिर आप ऐसे ही क्लेम मार रहे हो कि
हाँ, तो
हाँ
क्लेम
कहीं
ही
भी
कर
आया
रहे
तो
हैं ना
मतलब इंडिया
ब्रदर,
से ही
व्हाट
गया
यू आर
होगा।
डूइंग, यू आर आल्सो मेकिंग अ क्लेम, दिस इज अ
The
50-50%
gene flow,
प्रोबेबिलिटी।
क्लेम, अरे क्लेम
the
क्या
gene
है?
flow is from Iran.
आर्यन
It
माइग्रेशन
branches
थ्योरी
off.
जो है
One
वो
branch goes to Europe,
बेसिकली
the
वो
other branch goes to
यूनिवर्सली
India.
एक्सेप्टेड है। अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि वो नहीं है तो आप क्लेम मार रहे हो, क्लेम में नहीं मार रहा। क्लेम
नहीं
मैं
नहीं,
तो वो
मैं
बोल रहा
कहाँ
हूँ जो
क्लेम मार रहा हूँ
एक्सेप्टेड है
ब्रदर, मैं कहाँ कह रहा हूँ कि यूनिवर्सल एक्सेप्टेंस से हमको वैलिडिटी चाहिए, मैं तो थोड़ी कह रहा हूँ।
आर्यन इन्वेजन भी यूनिवर्सल था, फिर उससे आर्यन
हाँ तो
माइग्रेशन बन गया।
आप डिस्प्रूव कर दो ना, फिर आप बोलना। आप ऐसे ही कुछ भी थोड़ी ना बोल सकते हो।
टाइम
अबे
और
भाई
जाने दो,
देखो,
अपने आप ही डिस्प्रूव
सुनो
हो जाएगा। जैसे
ये तो फिर याप हो गया
Yeah.
ना कि
आर्यन
टाइम जाने
इन्वेजन
दो फिर पता लग
डिस्प्रूव
जाएगा।
हो गया।
सुनो सुनो
ये तो
मेरी
राइट,
बात
फिर
सुनो।
जैसे
याप हो गया
आर्यन।
ना, मतलब
अबे
पहले कर
आप
लो फिर बोलना। अभी
आप
ऐसे ही बोल रहे
आप
हो।
आप मुझे कुछ बोलने दोगे?
नहीं मतलब मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कि पहले डिस्प्रूव कर लो,
ओके,
बाद
बोल
में
लो।
बोलना।
ओके,
हाँ
आप
भाई,
पहले बोल लो। ओके।
एक मिनट रुको, एक मिनट रुको, कौन है ये भाई, कौन हीरो बन रहा है? हाँ, कैट्स ब्रदर। देख, 44 मिनट से वीसी रिकॉर्ड हो रही है, तुम अगर आके मेरे को 42nd मिनट पे बोलोगे कि मेरे को वीसी का रिकैप दो, तो ऐसा नहीं पॉसिबल है। पहले आना था और पहले मारना था क्लेम। बाकी रिकॉर्ड चाहिए तो मैं रिकॉर्ड तुमको डीएम पे
क्लेम
भेज
कौन
दूंगा,
मार
कैसे
रहा है?
उसको
क्लेम तो
डिस्प्रूव
आप
हो रहा
मार
है,
रहे हो,
स्क्रिप्चरल
बाद में
बेसिस
Bro,
क्लेम
कैसे
दे रहे
उसका
हो।
नहीं है,
Flame, you're
लिंग्विस्टिक
the
बेसिस कैसे
okay.
उससे कंट्राडिक्ट करता है, वो सब
Ajihad,
वीसी में है।
Ajihad. Listen, Ajihad, you're the one making the claim right here that is entirely rejected by academia. Okay,
अरे
now
academia does not,
academia
I do
has
not give a fuck about academia, brother. I need those their claims about scriptures to
well,
match
almost.
with the scriptures that I read. And if you do not have those,
It also
if you have
matches. They also
contradictory
analyze the
claims,
scriptures. They have
44
also
minutes are
analyzed the
pure
scriptures.
embarrassment about you. अभी चाहिए तेरे को तो मैं दे दूंगा, but I have those recordings. अभी कितना
Okay,
मिनट हुआ?
I
44.5
told you
seconds.
about in Ramayana they have described the forest people as dark skinned,
अबे चल भाई,
and they
एक काम
वere
कर,
attacking the
सुन
Harappan
मेरी बात
people.
सुन, एक काम कर,
Okay,
प्रोवाइड मी दोस sources from Ramayana. I'm cross checking it at right at this moment.
okay. Do you not know? Okay, this is basic, right? Do you know the Rishi who asks Ram, his guru to come into his ashram to protect it? Like, around that area, there's
अरे भाई,
monsters
every time
attacking.
I
Do you
ask
know that?
a scriptural proof from you, you are like, do you know this? Do you know that? I'm not interested. I'm just asking
You
you a
were doing the
straightforward
same
question
thing.
and I
I'm doing
want
the
a
same
straightforward
thing because
answer.
you said you're such an expert, right? You're such an expert, right? So you should know this if you've read it.
Arey,
And anyway, the
I did not
genetics.
claim to have read the Ramayana. It was you who was embarrassed by claiming to have read the Ramayana by heart. And when I asked two questions
But I
from
did.
Uttarakhand, you were just puking.
No,
You
I
So
did.
then
I
let
didn't
did
Ram
read.
even
ask you
knew
a question.
that you।
एक
भाई,
मिनट
तुझे ऐसा भी
भाई
नहीं
एक
पता
मिनट
था कि उत्तराखंड क्या है?
भाई तेरे को ये भी नहीं पता था
पार्थ
कि
एक
उत्तरकांड
मिनट
रामायण
एक
की
मिनट
शुरुआत में होता है या अंत में होता है।
Okay, listen.
अरे
Listen
thinker
to this.
thinker thinker
The
thinker
genetics
I have a basic
are
question. Okay, wait,
okay. Can you
you
just
said
deny
Rama's guru.
basic proof of
Wait,
genetics? The
अबे
thinker,
genetics
wait,
show.
thinker,
जीनियोलॉजी इज
wait,
नॉट द पर्पस ऑफ
thinker, wait,
स्क्रिप्चर्स भाई, वेदास का या फिर
thinker,
किसी भी
thinker.
स्क्रिप्चर्स का जीनियोलॉजी इज नॉट लाइबिलिटी ऑफ दो स्क्रिप्चर्स टू बी प्रूवन। You are stupid
Okay,
if you are
listen just
asking for
for
a
one second.
genealogical
Okay,
proof
okay,
in
just for
Thinker,
scriptures.
one
If you
second.
are looking for a genealogical
Just for one.
reconciliation in
I said
scriptures.
1 second, bro.
thinker. I'm asking you a
I
very
said
simple question. Answer this. Who was Rama's guru? श्री राम के गुरु कौन थे?
Vishwamitra, my ancestor.
अच्छा. So who was his guru before that? Why did Vishwamitra become his guru?
I mean I can't answer everything off the top of my head, bro.
Bruh, you literally said that Ramayana is by heart.
You know, even someone who has watched the Ramayana serials, they can answer this question. This is not that hard.
But can you deny the genetic evidence?
अबे
Like,
फिर
there's no
वही
way you
denial
can
भाई,
deny this.
can you, can that, what if,
No,
what not?
okay, you're
Can you
saying
answer my
भाई
question?
आपको
Can you
डिबेट
answer my
का
question?
रूल पता होता है?
Can you
yes,
answer my
but you're
question?
just
Okay.
straight up
Who was
denying
the
evidence. Like,
okay,
how can
okay,
you just
okay,
deny
okay,
What
evidence
kind
like
of
okay,
that?
evidence
okay.
are we
There
denying?
is
We
Instead,
are, we are asking
okay,
you
there's
for an
lineage
evidence
from
from the
Iranian.
scriptures, and you are
One,
like, do you know this? Do you know
ओए
that? We
सिंफुल
do not know this. That's why
बोल
we
देना
are
नहीं
asking
पता
you.
करके, फिर मूव ऑन कर जा, बीच में ऐसे मत
thinker,
काट दे, बोल नहीं
thinker,
पता करके
thinker.
बोल दे, फिर आगे चल जा।
भाई बोल दे नहीं
नहीं
पता।
नहीं पता बोलता नहीं है।
हाँ
but I
वैसे
do know.
सिंपल। हाँ ठीक है, अभी
Okay,
एक बात
listen,
सुन।
listen,
एक
listen,
मिनट एक मिनट एक
listen
मिनट
for a
एक
second.
मिनट एक
Just
मिनट
let me
Was
speak.
Vishwamitra Rama's family guru?
No, I think that was Vaishesht,
Then why did you say Vishwamitra
right?
was his guru and not Vashisht? Why were you
Because
not able to answer it?
Vishwamitra was his guru afterward, I think. Or, I mean, I remember he
Why
was
did
his
he
guru at some
why did
point.
why did he become his guru? Why did he feel the need? Why did Sri Ram feel the need to change gurus when Vashisht was his guru? Was he not good enough?
I mean, you are trying to divert from
अरे
evidence. Can
भाई
you
अब
first? Okay, I'm
divert
asking
this
you.
and
Can you
that भाई,
deny the
ये देखो victim
literal
card.
genetic evidence first? First, can you
I am
deny that?
trying to
How are you
no no
able
no
to just
I'm not
ignore that
diverting. You were
and wait?
talking about knowing Ramayana and knowing it by heart.
No, because you
So you
kept
should know
asking for
this.
scriptures. You kept asking. You were
So
the one who. You guys were the ones who kept asking for scripture.
this is pretty simple stuff.
Okay, but okay, let me ask you this. You were the ones who kept asking for scriptures. So
Dude,
you were
हाँ
just
I'm not even
denying
asking you
genetic
something
अरे
evidence.
complex.
देख
If I
भाई
ask you
ठीक है
something
ठीक है।
complex now,
भार्गव भाई एक
won't be
मिनट
able
रुको।
to
Yes,
answer it.
we are asking about
हाँ.
the scriptures and you are not providing any single scriptural proof to back your claims. Not any since the start of this argument. Not one.
I did give you this the Rakshasa ones. You just ignored that too. I gave you
अरे
the
कहाँ है
Dasyu
भाई?
ones. You ignored that too.
Where?
In the Rig Veda and in the
अरे
Ramayana.
तो बोलने से थोड़ी होता है भाई।
Okay.
You have to point out
Ram,
where that particular
Ram,
word
Well,
mentioned
let
in
me
that
दिखा
tell
particular
you.
दिखा
I
verse।
sent
दिखा
you the.
बोलने से तो मैं भी बोल दूंगा कि रामायण में लिखा है
I
कि भाई
did.
एक व्यक्ति आएगा पीएचडी होल्डर, ही विल क्लेम सेपरेट थिंग्स अबाउट रामायण इन अ डिस्कॉर्ड वीसी। ये
I
रामायण में
sent you
लिखा है
the
ऐसा मैं
verse.
बोल दूंगा।
Okay, I sent you the verse though. Did you not see?
अरे तो
Yeah, or
दैट्स
I
व्हाट
mean
आई एम
the
आस्किंग ना कि कहाँ
analysis
है,
of
दे
the
दो मेरे
certain
को पिन।
verses.
में 10 उसका जो डेफिनेशन दिया ना उसका कॉपी पेस्ट किया है इसने.
हाँ मनुस्मृति में दासी उसका डेफिनेशन भी दिया होगा। और रामायण में जो जंगल ड्वेलर्स है उनका भी दे दो आप, मैं कंटेक्स्ट देख के आपको अर्थ समझा दूंगा भाई। उसके लिए
Also,
वीसी कर लेंगे हम,
also
खाली बैठे हैं उसके लिए।
Rakshasas are not dark skinned, by the way. Rakshasas are not dark skinned, by the way.
और
Not
अबे
They
are,
are.
ये
not all
राक्षस
are.
असुर
Some are.
गंधर्व
No, no, wait.
पिशाच सब अब
Some
सबका
are.
एक लीनिएज अगर
Wait,
ट्रेस करोगे
wait.
स्क्रिप्चरल बेसिस पे तो वो एक ही ऋषि से आता है। अभी वो नहीं बोल सकते
Okay,
कि
Wait.
दे इम्पोज,
let me ask you this.
दे फॉट ईच अदर, दे
Hey,
इम्पोज
Catswall, can
ईच
you
अदर
back
ऑन
me
ईच
up
अदर।
on this? Okay, Catswall. Hey,
हाँ
can
हाँ
you hear
वो
me,
मेरे को
Catswall?
मालूम है.
Yeah.
एक मिनट कैट्स ऑल व्हाट्स ऑल नहीं, मेरी बात सुन. You said that they are dark in color. What if I show you that they are also red in color? They are also yellow in
Yes,
color,
there are
golden
some who are red
in
in
color.
color because there were
No,
also
no,
certain
no, 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 no,
tribes of
no, no,
Europe
no.
that they considered.
They come in all
Why did
colors.
you not build up your argument based on कि देखो इतनी इतनी variations also exist in Rakshasas, and why according to you
Because they're
all
few and
Rakshasas
far
are dark
between.
skinned?
The vast
Manipur is
majority,
not
okay, the
far
vast,
in right. Manipur is not far.
the vast majority are dark skinned. The
अरे
overwhelming
vast majority,
majority are.
this
Do
would
you
not
have
have
any
been point if this would
proof
not
for
have been pointed
do
out
you
in
have
this
any
course
proof
of
for
this
the statement?
debate, then you would not have accepted कि there exists variability in their definitions of how they appeared।
That
तू तो भाई
no, I
मानता ही नहीं
pointed
ना।
out how Ravan was half Rakshas. That's why, and half Brahmin. That's why he was both. He could be called both because his mother was a Rakshas.
अरे रावण की तो
And
मैं बात ही नहीं किया भाई अभी। देखो अभी फिर बोलेगा कि हम रिटार्ड कहते
okay,
हैं
but
तुमको।
I already talked about the variability. That's how it happened. And now let me explain. The genetics show that from Iran, one went to Caucasus, the Caucasian region. Those were known as Caucasian hunter-gatherers, but they were descendant of Iranian. And then one split off into and became the Harappans. That's how the branch split off. There was
Yes, that is
that was
what
the
you are
splitting
repeating since the
of
start of the activity,
Indo-European.
and it has been 52 minutes. This is the third recording, and yet no proof or no scriptural backing of those cultural exchanges.
I gave you so many, but okay, if you choose to ignore them, how can you ignore the genetic
अरे
evidence?
I did not choose
Like
to
how
ignore
you
them,
just
brother.
not
You
believe me?
just named some scriptures कि इसमें ऐसा लिखा है. You did not give me any. नेमिंग इज नॉट कॉल्ड
I
स्क्रिप्चुरल
gave you
साइटेशन.
that. Did
अभी
you
आप
from
पीएचडी
Wispo
करते हो ना भाई, तो आपको
Limberg?
पता होगा व्हाट इज साइटेशन, व्हाट आर रेफरेंसेस. यदि नहीं पता तो पीएचडी छोड़ दो.
I gave you the reference. Did you not see? I gave I
ये डेफिनेशन देख के तेरे से पूछा था कि ये इसका रेफरेंस कहाँ दिया है ऋग्वेद में, वही मैं मांग रहा हूँ तेरे से, वो तेरे से हो नहीं पा रहा. ठीक है. अभी फिर पीएचडी होल्डर करके तू
those.
फिर पीयर रिव्यूड करके वो पूछ लेगा कि मेरा ऐसा है वैसा है. तेरे को पता नहीं है कि वो स्क्रिप्चर्स में कहाँ से दिया है. ऐसे तो पीएचडी रह गई भाई तेरी.
Look, I will send you another one. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm finding that. I will. Okay, we can talk. Meanwhile, I'm finding that right now. Okay.
So
I will
basically,
ask
you
you,
you
why
do
are you
not
just
even know
ignoring the teaching?
that particular reference is found in the scriptures, but you are sure that ये वही होगा जो मैं कह रहा हूँ. Nice.
Well, actually, but I've seen it where it is before. I just need to find it again. And,
हाँ, तो
and
जब
on
आपके पास
on
था
the
ही नहीं, जब आपके
encounter.
पास था ही नहीं, तो आप जो क्लेम कर रहे हो उसको बैक करने के लिए what proof did you have before you spoke?
Well, okay. Even okay. So first of all, you're ignoring. Okay, that those are science. I mean, those are religious
अरे
scriptures. You're
हाँ हूँ,
ignoring
ओके ओके मत
complete.
कर भाई. मेरे को जो मांग रहा हूँ मेरे को स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड वही चाहिए.
Okay, so you're just gonna ignore, like, just completely ignore the gene evidence, right? You're just gonna ignore what
हाँ,
scientists have
हाँ
worked on for
exactly, because you are
decades.
talking about scriptures, but the purpose of scriptures is not to not to detail about genealogy. And even if you are talking about genealogy and lineages, abhi scriptures
Okay, I'm
mention completely opposite direction of the summary of lineages that you are claiming. जैसे मैं बताया कि मनुस्मृति में सब एक ही ऋषि से आते हैं भाई. यक्ष राक्षस गंधर्व मनुष्य पिशाच
okay.
सब. अभी रोते रहे और जाके प्रूफ
I
लेके आ.
pinged you. Okay, I'm gonna ping you. You're gonna get pinged. Okay. I said I found it exactly where it is in the scriptures.
भेज 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 मस्त आराम से भेज.
I'm making a third argument. I my last two arguments are still not answered by you properly. My third is not with genealogical study or with gene sample are you referring to while making your claims?
Well, there's plenty of them. One of them, I'll just show you right now. One of them is the, by Nature, Nature, the journal Nature. It's the genetics of an early Neolithic pastoralist from Zagros, Iran. That's one of them. There's
Um,
plenty more. I could keep going. There's this paper by Nursimon. Many papers by him, and I could just show some of them to you.
how?
But anyway, I gave you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's ample. But what is their data sample size?
Well, they take data samples from many modern populations, and then they take it from as many like ancient, and they align it with the like the bone samples they found, and it's been peer reviewed and verified by multiple institutions. Nature is a very big, and then you can also find this on like other institutions as well who
Would you
back
please
up this claim.
would you please repeat the title of the paper published in the journal? I want to look it out.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll send it to you.
Please send it to the chat.
भाई ये
Okay.
रेफरेंस.
Yeah, I
ओ
sent it in the chat.
ओ ब्रदर
Can you
पीएचडी
see it?
होल्डर, सुनो अभी ये रेफरेंस तो मेरे को मिल गया, मैं पढ़ के सुनाता हूँ और ये मैं बीच में भी देता हूँ.
Okay.
एक मिनट ना.
Why are you just choosing to completely ignore? Like, you're just gonna not even talk about the genetics because they
अरे
all
why
all
हुई,
of the
because this
scientists
is a Hinduism server. The purpose of Hinduism server is to discuss about Hinduism, not genealogy. First of all, अभी आपको ये क्लियर नहीं है
and
तो
these
आप
genes
एक
are
काम
relevant
करो.
to
एक
Hinduism.
काम करो, अपनी एकेडमिया छोड़ दो, because you do not even know the difference between religion and genealogy and sciences. हमारा वो पर्पस ही नहीं है.
These are relevant to the people who built the Harappan civilization.
हाँ
One
हाँ,
gene,
तो the
okay, from
people
Iran we
you
see
are
the split
claiming,
into
देखो
Caucasus
मेरा काम है
hunter-gatherers and
स्क्रिप्चर्स
one
को
into
रिप्रेजेंट
Harappan,
करना. सुन सुन मेरे बाप, मेरा
both from
काम है स्क्रिप्चर्स
Iranian
को
and
रिप्रेजेंट करना.
Iran
स्क्रिप्चर
and
से तुमको मैंने कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट किया. आपके पास कोई क्लेम नहीं है अगेंस्ट दैट. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि सबकी लीनिएजेस एक से आती है, उसके उसके अगेंस्ट तुम्हारे पास कोई प्रूफ नहीं है
well,
कि ऐसा
I
नहीं है.
literally sent you. Okay, even in scriptures, I just sent you one. Now you're just ignoring that too.
हाँ
Good
तो भेज
job,
तो
like
दिया भाई.
seriously, bro. I
ओ
literally
हेलो, भेज
sent
तो
you
दिया.
that too.
ये देखना तू भाई, तू देखता नहीं है, रोता है, फिर उसके बाद भेज तो दिया. 10वें मंडल का
इससे
बाई
आती है भाई
उसमें
सबकी
8वां.
लीनिएज।
मैं पढ़ के
एक
सुनाता हूँ,
पर्सन से
इसमें
आने
क्या
वाली
लिखा है।
क्या है भाई ये?
मैं पढ़ के सुनाता हूँ भाई, इसमें 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 बताना क्या है। हे इंद्र, हमारे हमारे चारों ओर यज्ञ कर्म से किसी को ना मानने वाले, वेद स्तुति के प्रतिकूल कर्म करने वाले एवं मानवोचित व्यवहार से रहित दास्यु है। हे शत्रुनाशक इंद्र, तुम शूर मारुतों के साथ हमारी रक्षा करो। ये मलेच्छों की डेफिनेशन से मैच नहीं करता है, दास्यों की डेफिनेशन।
The word Malech comes in much later use.
मीनिंग इज द सेम और नॉट भाई, सीधे बोल यस और नो, अर्थ
अबे
दोनों का
अबे
सेम है कि
अबे
नहीं।
what? एक मिनट उसको समझ में
Oh
नहीं आया.
yes, but
What
but okay,
did you
listen.
understand what he said? Did you understand what he said?
और
Yes, I
ये
understood what he
स्तुति है
said.
भाई, ये
Can
इंद्र
you
को
can
बोल
you
रहा
can you
है कि
repeat
इन
it?
लोगों से, ये
No, no.
वेद
Can you
के
repeat
लोगों
it
से हमको बचाया जाए।
in
ये
English?
नहीं बोल
Can
रहा
you
है कि
repeat it
इंद्र
in
में जो
English?
रहते हैं ये दासियों है,
I'll
ऐसा है
read it
वैसा
from
है।
the text. हे इंद्र,
No, no, no.
हमारे
It,
चारों ओर यज्ञ कर्म से शून्य किसी को न मनाने वाले, वेद स्तुति के प्रातिक प्रतिकूल कर्म करने वाले हम एवं मानवोचित व्यवहार से रहित दस्यु हैं। शत्रुनाशक इंद्र, तुम शूर मरुतों के साथ हमारी रक्षा करो. I mean, I tried my best. I mean, it's not my first language, but
मैं समझा देता हूँ
tried
भाई,
my
तू क्यों
best.
चिंता कर रहा है, मैं समझा देता हूँ। मानवोचित व्यवहार से रहित, वेद स्तुति से प्रतिकूल कर्म करने वाले, वे मतलब अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदास जो भी काम नहीं करते, ये उनके बारे में बात हो रही है। अकॉर्डिंग जो वेदास का धर्म फॉलो नहीं करते, उनको उनकी बात हो रही है। मानवोचित व्यवहार मतलब जो आपको धर्म के प्रति जो आपका आचार बताया गया है, यदि आप उसको फॉलो नहीं करते तो आप दास्यु हैं, उनको दास्यु कहा गया है। अभी इसमें तू मेरे को बता कि इसमें ज्योग्राफिकल क्लासिफिकेशन कहाँ से आई और लिनियोलॉजिकल क्लासिफिकेशन, जेनेटिक क्लासिफिकेशन कहाँ से तेरे को दिख रही है, तू मेरे को ये बता। क्योंकि वैसे लोग तो आज भी
Okay,
एग्जिस्ट करते हैं,
listen.
मेरे बगल वाले कमरे में भी जो लोग हैं वो भी ऐसा ही लोग हैं, उनको मैं दास्यु तो बोल ही सकता हूँ, पर ये नहीं बोलूंगा दिस इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो लोअर कास्ट के होंगे।
Okay, but listen to this. They
बट
had a
बट वुड
one
नहीं भाई,
united king.
बट
They were
वुड नहीं,
united under
आई
one
ओनली
king,
वांट दी
right?
आंसर्स, बट वुड नहीं।
They had a king that united them. They were one group. They were described as one tribe, though.
कहाँ कहाँ भाई, जो तू श्लोक भेजा उसमें तो ऐसा कुछ परपट नहीं है।
Okay, why were they all dark skinned though?
वाई
You're
अरे
just gonna ignore that too?
वाई
And
वाई वही वही अभी तेरा श्लोक मैं तेरे को पढ़ के सुनाया, उसमें तेरे को खुजली हो रही कि ऐसा नहीं है। अभी वाई वही ट्रिविया दिस दैट वो मत कर भाई, मैं स्ट्रेट अप क्वेश्चन पूछा हूँ, स्ट्रेट अप आंसर दे। दास्युरभि न अमन्तु रन्य व्रतो अमानुषः त्वं तस्या मित्र हन्व धर या धर दास्य दम्भः। अब इसका एक एक शब्द की ना मेरे को सुनाओ, संधि विच्छेद करके इसका अर्थ करके बताओ मेरे को, अगर आपको संस्कृत आती है तो।
look, I never claimed I know Sanskrit, so please, I
तो
was
फिर
just saying,
तो
how
And
can you
जो दिया है वो तो
verify?
मान लो ना, एक बार मैं बता देता हूँ।
लिंक शेयर कर
Okay,
दो भाई।
but you okay, you just choose to completely ignore, like just
अबे
out of the
चुप
wall.
कर
You just
भाई, तू
ignore
पहले
the
देख,
gene.
मैं बताता हूँ किसका ये ट्रांसलेशन। डॉक्टर गंगानाथ सहाय, एमए हिंदी इन संस्कृत एंड
bro,
पीएचडी इन
just stop.
व्याकरणाचार्य।
bhai, hello, thinker,
Thinker,
thinker.
just
You know,
stop.
thinker. I have a question for you. Someone in the chat has asked because he cannot speak. Um, the question is, what color is Shiva?
He is described as white as powder. Like white is this thing. Like let me show you. He's described as super
Baboot.
fair.
It's called Baboot. Hey, Bhagwan.
Yes,
What about Kala Bhairava, who is black in color? Is he not Shiva?
yes, but that is one of his forms, right? But his main form, like, is white. He's an Aryan god.
अरे भाई आर्यन और
Shiva is
द्रविडियन,
an
पहले तो
Aryan
तुम
god.
टाइम भाई इसको
एक
भाई
मिनट एक
मत
मिनट
पूछा करो
एक
इससे
मिनट
वैसे
एक
सवाल
मिनट
जिसका जवाब ये टेढ़ा ही देगा।
अरे अरे
ये कौन है जो आर्य को आर्यन बोल रहा है इधर?
तो
ये
एक
कौन
मिनट नहीं
कौन
नहीं एक
व्यक्ति
मिनट
है?
अरे ठहर जा.
I'm
Shiva
not
is an
talking
Aryan
about
god.
the
Are you sure?
non-Aryan. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
wait,
the
wait.
Vedic
Are you
Aryan.
sure?
Completely different
अरे हाँ
meaning.
हाँ अरे हाँ हाँ एक मिनट. Just tell me, are you calling Shiva an Aryan god? Because then you will be contradicting the so-called scholars.
Well,
which
that's why I
means
said I don't agree with the
which
steppe hypothesis. I agree with the Iranian
whatever
hypothesis.
hypothesis, whatever hypothesis you go with, the same
No, no,
is
no.
going
The
to
Iranian
happen. That you are
hypothesis, the
disagreeing with
Iranian
the scholars.
hypothesis does say that the Harappans were following early Indo-European or Vedic tradition because we can see the split is clear in genetics. This is not even contested by the steppe people have to admit this too, which means that the Iranian hypothesis is the most likely one because even they can't disprove it. That the Neolithic Iranians, one branched out into the Caucasus hunter-gatherers, while the one continued into Harappa and became the Harappans, right? The Indus Valley.
भाई this means or that means or according to me and what if and this and
अब
that
अब
यही
मैं
सुन रहे हैं
आपको
भाई 1 घंटे
अब मैं
से।
आपको स्कॉलरली ओपिनियन बताता हूँ। अब मैं आपको स्कॉलरली ओपिनियन बताता हूँ। आपने बोला कि आप